There comes a moment in every person's life when they finally understand that peace does not come from being liked, praised, or validated. It comes from being so rooted in your own presence that nothing and no one can shake it. That's when you become cold, calm, and untouchable. Not because you're trying to be cruel or distant, but because you've mastered yourself. See, we live in a world that rewards the loud, the impulsive, the emotionally reactive. But if you want true power, the kind that doesn't come and go with people's opinions or changing circumstances, you have to learn to live in silence. You have to learn to observe instead of react, to listen more than you speak, to move with calculated intention rather than emotional impulse. You have to understand that calmness is not weakness, it is control. And control, in the deepest sense, begins with the self. People will test you, life will corner you, and everything you thought you had mastered will come back around just to ask you, have you really changed? This is where emotional strength is forged, not in the calm seas, but in the storm. You have to let the chaos swirl around you while you remain centered, like an ancient stone unmoved by the wind. Revenge is not always about action. Sometimes the best revenge is becoming so composed, so successful, so elevated in your discipline, that the ones who tried to pull you down have to live with the reality that they never broke you. That's what it means to be untouchable. Not immune to pain, but immune to control. Not indifferent, but in command of your emotions. To be cold doesn't mean you lack empathy. It means you stop allowing your emotions to be used against you. It means you've learned how to channel your fire inward, to fuel your work, your ambition, your healing. Your calmness is not silence. It's a calculated refusal to waste energy on what doesn't serve your purpose. The world will tempt you to react, to defend your name, to explain your decisions, to prove your worth. But if you fall for that, you give away your power every time. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. The lion never loses sleep over the opinion of sheep. You become cold, calm, and untouchable by choosing yourself again and again. You stop chasing love that confuses intensity with loyalty. You stop trying to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You walk away from battles that only drain you. You learn to sit in your solitude without feeling lonely. And most importantly, you train yourself to respond to disrespect with distance, not drama. Self-discipline is your sword. Detachment is your shield. And silence? Silence is the fortress that protects your mind. Every time you choose to hold your tongue, to pause before you act, to walk away instead of explode, you strengthen that fortress. You become less penetrable, less predictable, more powerful. Being untouchable doesn't mean nothing affects you. It means you control how things affect you. It means the same things that used to make you spiral now pass through you without reaction. It means you've built enough self-awareness to see your triggers for what they are. Lessons, not landmines. Remember, the strongest people are often the quietest in the room. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need attention. They are content in their stillness, focused on their growth, aware of the game being played around them, but choosing not to play small. That's real strength. You don't get there overnight. It takes breaking down. It takes loss. It takes betrayal. It takes long nights sitting with your pain until you finally decide that no one will ever make you lose yourself again. It takes choosing peace over chaos, purpose over pleasure, power over approval. So, how do you become cold, calm, and untouchable? You learn to breathe through the pain. You master the art of not responding. You observe everything and absorb nothing that doesn't serve you. You become the kind of person who doesn't flinch when provoked, who doesn't beg when abandoned, who doesn't fold under pressure. You become someone who can be alone without crumbling, who can be doubted without doubting themselves, who can love deeply but never lose their center. That's the real glow-up. Not louder, not flashier, but calmer, colder, clearer. You walk like you know who you are. You speak only when necessary. You move in silence and let your results speak. Because in the end, control isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. And once you do that, you become truly untouchable. That is the Stoic way. That is your way now. And if you've made it this far into this video, then you're not just watching, you're awakening. You're beginning to understand that emotional strength is not about suppressing pain, but transforming it. That silence isn't emptiness, it's presence. That distance isn't coldness, it's clarity. So take this moment and let it anchor into your soul. Let it become a turning point, not tomorrow, not next week, now. The world doesn't need another loud voice. It needs someone who moves with purpose, someone who can sit in a room full of noise and remain unshaken, someone who doesn't chase attention but commands respect. Start today. Speak less. Feel more. Train your mind like a warrior trains his body, not to destroy, but to defend your peace. Every hour you spend in discipline, every boundary you enforce, every emotion you process in silence rather than explosion, that's you stepping deeper into your power. And when the world tries to shake you, test you, provoke you, just smile. Not because you're unaffected, but because you're unbreakable, because you've walked through fire and learned to use the flame to light your own path. Never let anyone see you weak again. Not because weakness is shameful, but because strength is your choice now. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to understand yourself so deeply that you become immune to the world's chaos. You're here to rise, not react, to lead, not chase, to become, not beg. So remember this voice, remember this fire, when you're alone, when you're tested, when it hurts, because that's when you'll become who you were always meant to be, cold, calm, untouchable.